So I am finally dressed in my motorcycle gear again, and I will be taking Ragnarr for a spin. It has been weeks. So I've decided, in honor of all my wonderful friends and followers on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, that my next YouTube video will be all about my KTM and how and why I decided to get him. So let's start, before I go on my ride, with a quick assessment of what's been going on. So I would say that for many, many years, I've been really keen on getting a motorcycle. Ever since I was little, I've really enjoyed the idea of like racing things, like go-karts, and my parents were very into Formula One racing and things like that. And that's why when I learned to ride my car, I sometimes took it a little bit too far, but I'm still here. And it's been one of those things that now that I'm sort of in my 30s, I'm a little bit more sensible. I've always been slightly risk averse, like I'm not necessarily really going to push the limits. So I think I'm in the right place to sort of get myself a motorcycle and start doing this for real. And the real motorcycle bug bit while I was with my previous partner. And he's a phenomenal motorcyclist. He learned when he was like 4, and he's just been learning all along, and he rides his motorcycle to and from work and a lot of off-roading. And he's really, really good. And he's taught me, in a sense, that it's a safe machine. Like, if you ride within your limits, it's a perfectly wonderful mode of transport. And it is magical. So we went on a couple of rides around the Cape region, sort of the garden route section through the mountain passes and things. And it was absolute magic. Smelling the wildlife and like really feeling that cold mountain air, and then the heat of the sun. It's just, nothing can compare to it. Like, a car is great and it's very enclosed and you feel very safe in it, but you're so disconnected from the environment. And whereas with a motorcycle, you feel the tar, you feel the dirt, you smell the wildlife, you smell the cows, you in it. And it's an experience. Everything about it's an experience. And that's what I wanted. And while it was great riding behind my partner, it was more a case of like, I wanted to be in control of the motorcycle and I wanted to decide where I was going to go. And that sense of adventure and opportunity is what really, really got me. So for many years, I was asking, could he teach me? But sadly, it never sort of happened. But my dad also rides a motorcycle. He is far more sort of far safer in a sense, especially with me. He's very protective, and he said that he'd teach me, and we were sort of investigating which motorcycle would be best for me. So I'm a relatively tall girl, not like super tall, but tall enough, and I wanted a motorcycle. So being the type of person that I am, I wanted a motorcycle that I could use for many, many years to come in many different scenarios. And ideally, I wanted a motorcycle that can be used both on the tar roads in the city, as well as a little bit more off-roady. Not like major off-road, nothing of like the bundu bashing things that some can do. But I wanted something that could stand its own on dirt, on like a nice track type of vibe. Into the mountains, mountain passes, really just a little workhorse, something that can get me there. I wanted something that can stand its own against traffic in town. It doesn't flow, doesn't have to be so fast, but it needs to be good enough, And I wanted something that can be with me for many years, because I'm the type of person to invest once and I'll keep it for a while. I've had my car for 12 years now. It might be time. But I can see this motorcycle, the one we finally decided on, being my boy for many, many years and many, many adventures. I cannot wait to actually start doing those. But first, the girl's got to learn. So I decided to get the KTM 390 Adventure. And the guys at KTM Cape Town and Pardon Island were phenomenal. They helped me out, and they still do. Like, even now, I took it in for its 1-year service because I've had it that long. I've barely driven it. But they were great, a lot of good banter, and it feels like a community. And that's what I love about the motorcycling. Unlike A car, no one gets together and chats about their car really. I don't know. Maybe if you've zooped it up or something. But a bike, it's just everyone, it's camaraderie and it's collective consciousness almost. And if you tell someone you've got a motorcycle, they're almost like your instant friend if they've got one too. And that's great. And I love that. And everyone's got good tips, but I take it as I come at the moment. So I'm taking things slower than most might want me to, but it's me. And there's one thing I've learned from YouTube videos of like Moto Jitsu and those guys, it's ride within your envelope and don't feel pressured by others, but practice, practice, practice. And that's my plan today. I'm going to go take my boy for a few spins around the neighborhood, nothing major, but practice, practice, practice. There's going to be a lot of stop starting. There's a lot of like traffic lights, a lot of sub streets, a lot of circles, a lot of traffic. So slow and steady and we'll get there. And hopefully this opens the door, and I'm sure it does, to many awesome opportunities and adventures. So yeah, in honor of my awesome friends who also have motorcycles and are keen for me to post something about mine, here you go. This is it. I will stitch in some nice footage from previous trips, and I'll probably take you down to the garage to show you the latest additions in terms of crash bars and bark busters. But my boy's looking great and I am super keen to go riding. So let's do it. Thanks for listening. Mwah! Alright, so here we've got my beautiful boy, and as you can see he's got new bark buster hand guards. They're pretty freaking solid, and hopefully that will prevent anything like this happening in the future. That was my bad, sorry my boy, but he's looking gorgeous. And then he's also got these, if you can see them, they're black on black. I did that on purpose, but these really nice crash bars that's going to protect him, and his gorgeous little engine in there. And yeah, he's looking good, happy and healthy. And that's let's do it. What a ride. That was exactly what I needed. It was quite busy in terms of traffic, and there were lots of stops and lots of starts and a lot of really, really good opportunities to sort of play with the clutch control and the brake. Today was absolutely fantastic for sort of my morale and my confidence. I felt a lot more relaxed on the motorcycle. I didn't have those exceptionally stiff arms that I often have, where I feel like I'm sort of pushing against everything. So a lot more relaxed. I feel that I did really well in terms of the clutch and the brake control, and yeah, sort of anticipating what the traffic is doing. I am a rather cautious rider, but I'm sure my dad would be happy to know that I didn't just slam on the brakes and stop at every single traffic light that even looked like it wanted to go orange, let alone red. So I pushed through a few when they were still orange, and yeah, sort of just maintaining a speed, not like ramping it up or racing for it or anything like that, just keeping a nice consistent speed and sort of working with the flow of traffic. It was really lovely. Saw lots of motorcyclists on the road, and I love that moment when everyone like gives you a little nod. So yeah, it's fantastic. I'm absolutely loving it. And even riding in winter here in Cape Town is paradise. Ook op z'n weg. Woehoe!